boys and girls. I hope you're doing well today. I want to go over a math lesson with you. It's math lesson number 2. In your remote learning packet, there have been some problems that are popping up with a skill that we haven't went over yet, and it's working on partitioning circles and squares and rectangles. So let's talk about what that means, and I'll teach you about it today. First, the skill that we're working on in this video today is partitioning circles, rectangles, and squares. Now you may be thinking, Miss Lanier, I know what a circle is, I know what a rectangle is, and I know what a square is, but what are you talking about when you say partitioning? Partition means to just separate something. So we're going to put some problems up. I'll be right back. So let's talk about partitioning. And partitioning means to separate. Campbell Grace is going to be in this problem. It's her turn. So let's say Campbell Grace has a circle, and we want to partition or separate that circle into 2 equal pieces. All you have to do is draw a line down the middle, and we have partitioned that circle. We've separated that circle into 2 equal pieces for Campbell Grace. This is a half, and that's a half. Those are 2 halves that are equal pieces or close to equal. I'm not as good an artist as you are. So this is 1 half and 1 half of Campbell Grace's circle. Let's continue with using Campbell Grace. Here's another circle. It doesn't have to be up and down like this. Campbell Grace could do her line this way, partitioning her circle. And that would be 1 half, and that would be 1 half. So we have learned to partition a circle into 2 equal pieces. And these numbers that say 1 half, those are called fractions. So this is like your first time really studying those. And if you get really good at this, you'll be really wonderful at fractions as you go on through your 2nd grade, 3rd grade, and 4th grade. So this means this is 1 of 2 pieces. This piece is 1 of 2. This piece is 1 of 2. Same here. 1 half and 1 half, they are equal. Let's do another problem. Let's do another one. This time we're using Caleb. Now Caleb has a circle here. With Lindsay, we did it into 2 equal pieces, 1 half and 1 half. But with Caleb's circle, we want to partition it into 4 equal pieces. So when you do that, you need to do a line down the middle this way. And so you have 1 half and then a line that cuts across the middle this way. And Caleb has cut his circle or partitioned it into 4 equal pieces. So this is 1 out of 4. This is 1 out of 4. This is 1 out of 4. And this is 1 out of 4. We call these 1/4. This is another fraction. 4 pieces, 1 of each, 1 of 4. You can also say quarters. This is a quarter of the circle, another quarter of the circle. Let me write the word quarter for you. 1/4, 1/4, 1/4, 1/4. Or 1/4, 1/4, 1/4, 1/4. So far we've learned to partition with Lindsay's in half and Caleb's in 1/4 or quarters. Let's do a different shape now. Now we've been partitioning circles. Let's move on to a square. Eli's in this problem. This is Eli's square. Let's first partition this square into 2 equal pieces. There's lots of ways you can do that. You could go from corner to corner with a diagonal line. This piece and that piece are equal. That is 1 half and 1 half. Let's give Eli another square. My square's not too good. Yours would be much better. You could go straight down the middle or as close to the middle. Mine's not perfect. I don't have a ruler. But that should be 1 half. And that's 1 half. Those are 2 equal pieces that way. I bet you're thinking there's more ways, Mrs. Lanier. Let's give Eli another one. We could go straight across the middle this way with the square. 1 half and 1 half. We could do another square for Eli. We went diagonally that way. We could go diagonally this way. 1 half, 1 half. They're all equal pieces of the square. All right, let's do another one. This time we've got Kinley. Kinley has a square. In Eli's, we were doing the square in half, partitioning into 2 equal pieces. In Kinley's, we're gonna partition the square into 4 equal pieces. And there's lots of ways you can do this. You're gonna need more than one line. You could go straight across the middle this way, straight across the middle that way. So that is 1/4, 1/4, 1/4, 1/4. We could also call those quarters, just like we did when we were doing this circle earlier, all right? There's other ways that you can separate your square into quarters. You could go this way and that way. And so now you have 1/4, which is a quarter, 1/4, a quarter, 1/4, a quarter, 1/4, a quarter. Now there's another way you can do it, but I'm not as good at it, but I will show you. Okay, you can draw your lines straight down, but you got to be careful not to draw too many lines. Mine will not be perfect. So that's 1/4, 1/4, 1/4, and 1/4. So if you take a square and draw 3 lines, that will give you 4 equal pieces. You don't need to draw 4 lines to get 4 equal pieces. If you draw 4 lines, you'll have 5 equal pieces. So that's a quarter, 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 quarter. So those are ways that you can separate it. Let's do another shape. It's Kylie's turn. Before we were doing circles and squares, let's jump back over here to our rectangle shape and let's partition our rectangle into 2 equal pieces, or 1/2s. We could draw a line straight across the middle. That's 1/2, that's 1/2. Let's come down here and draw another rectangle. We could draw a line straight down the middle this way and partition our rectangle 1/2 and 1/2. Now let's take Kylie again and let's go ahead and do our 1/4 or our quarters. Got them ready. All right, so if you're going to do it into 1/4 or quarters, you could draw your line this way and a line that way. That is 1/4, 1/4, 1/4, and 1/4. And so those are all quarters, or 1/4 of the whole, the pieces. You could also do your line straight down on those. 1/4, 1/4. It doesn't look like mine's going to be too even, does it? 1/4. No, I guess we best not go by that. You know, Miss Lanier, I'm always making mistakes. I should have made it a little bit bigger. All right, so that would be 1/4. That looks like that's going to be a little bit more even, right? 1/4 and 1/4. All right, let me show you one thing that you should not do when you're partitioning. Let's go back to that circle. If you take a circle and you partition into 4 equal pieces, this is not equal. If you do lines straight down like this, I have 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces, but look, they're not equal, so you cannot separate or partition a circle this way, all right? So I want to send this out to your parents, and I'm also going to attach a couple of worksheets for you guys to practice. I hope this helped you. I forgot one more thing. Let's go over a couple of things. The word partitioning is kind of like when you order a pizza or get a pizza, you cut it up into pieces, you're partitioning the pizza. Let's see what happens to our pizza here when we partition it every time we draw a line. Every time we drew a line, our pieces get smaller and smaller. We're only going up to 4, but at home, like if you cut your pizza into all those pizzas, look what happens as you draw more lines and you partition it more, it gets smaller and smaller. Let's look at let's pretend this is like a piece of candy. There's a line through the middle this way and a line through the middle this way. Our pieces are getting smaller and smaller. Pretend this is like a Hershey bar. Look, our pieces are getting smaller and smaller. Hope this helps you.